Hey guys, good to see you. How's it going? Today we're testing out one of my favorite fairway drivers. It's the Axiom Rhythm. So the Rhythm really falls into my favorite genre of disc, which is the slightly understable fairway driver. That's the number 7.5 -2.1. The reason why I love this type of disc is because it's super versatile. I can do little baby hyzer flips that go really straight, but I can also get really big anhyzer lines that kind of pan out. For me, this is the type of disc that's just an all-around go-to driver. This is in the Neutron plastic, 172 grams. First, we're gonna be in the field, then we're gonna go to the course. Let's jump into it. All right, guys, here we are in the field, living the good life, throwing some Frisbees around. The Rhythm really surprised me. You know, after I had thrown the Trance a lot, which was kind of like more overstable than the numbers suggest, I expected this to be similar because the numbers are almost exactly the same. But this guy is way more understable. You can see that first throw is pretty flat, just turned the whole time. This is more of just like a slight hyzer angle, has that nice flip up and just rides. The glide is incredible. I get pretty solid distance with this without a ton of effort. That's why I really like 7 speeds like this, where I just feel like I can power down. I don't have to put my full power into it, but I still get good distance, really easy line shaping. That's probably the Rhythm's strongest attribute, just being able to shape a bunch of different lines. You can see that was on a pretty aggressive hyzer angle, flipped up really nicely and just rode, and then you get it to fade out at the end. So this guy is just like an all-around great, like neutral to slightly understable fairway driver. You can see it here on this anhyzer line. It follows that anhyzer angle out of the hand just the whole flight. Just kind of pans out at the end, doesn't really fight out. Really love this right off the bat, but let's go to the course, see it on some actual disc golf lines. So one of the best uses for the Rhythm is for really gentle turnover lines. I like it a lot because I can put it out flat. I'm gonna get turned for most of the flight, but it's not so flippy that I ever have to worry about overturning it or it turning into a roller. It still has a little bit of finish at the end, makes it really nice for holes like this. We're at Harmony Bends, hole number 2. Let's check it out. Yeah, get that turn. You see it comes back a little bit, has a little bit of finish, but you get that just like really nice, gentle panning turn for most of the flight. In a lot of ways, the Rhythm kind of reminds me of the Virus, which I reviewed last week, though. The Virus is a good bit more understable. The Rhythm is a lot more of like controllable understability, something that you're probably going to reach for a lot more often just for like your typical turnover shot, and not something that you need to like aggressively turn right. But much like the Virus, it makes it really good for those uphill shots where that just touch of understability really helps keep the disc in the air as it's moving up. Yeah, that is just a laser beam uphill. That is really nice. All right, we landed in a good spot, but we got this clump of trees to deal with. Going to approach with the Envy. Don't hit that. Oh, nice. Woo. Nice, there we go. So if you're into Axiom discs like I am, which I'm doing this series where I review every single Axiom disc, so if that's something you're interested in, why don't you go subscribe? You might like this video's sponsor, that's Grow & Throw. Grow & Throw is a retailer here in Columbia, Missouri. You can also find them online at growandthrow.shop. They have a really good variety of discs. They carry a bunch of MVP, Axiom, a lot of the newest stuff that's been coming out recently, so go check them out. Ooh, laser. Woo-hoo-hoo. All right, now we got an aggressively downhill hole, so I'm gonna try to keep this on a lot of hyzer, have it pop up to flat. I'm really gonna try to control it and make sure it's not gonna turn over too much, but this disc is pretty flippy, so we'll find out here. Oh, laser beam straight. Wow. Went way far of the basket. I thought that was gonna flip a lot more. That was just boom straight. Yeah, we ended up going like 60 feet past the basket. All right, now we're at hole 9, which is a par 5, and I think this is like the perfect Rhythm hole. You need a slightly understable turnover uphill, but then it turns into this like tunnel shot that's great for hyzer flips. Let's do it. Oh, baby. Little too far left. I wanted a little more turn out of that. That's still gonna be a good spot. So I thought we were gonna end up more right, which would be more of that hyzer flip tunnel shot, but because we're left, we're actually left with more of just like a straight up turnover. Gonna try to keep this flat, have it turn the whole flight. Turn, oh, look at that beautiful turn. That was absolutely laced. All right, guys, we got the eagle putt here. Well guys, it does it for the Rhythm. I'm really surprised how much I connected with this disc immediately. This is actually the third Neutron Rhythm I bought in the past month. While I was testing the Rhythm for this video, because I like to do a little bit of testing before I actually film, I lost my other two in rapid succession on separate water holes. But that just goes to show you how much I trusted the Rhythm. I was throwing this disc for a ton of different shots just in practice. This is one of my go-to drivers now, instantly made the bag. I'm really surprised that it has that understability. I feel like I'm really used to MVP fairway drivers and distance drivers typically being a little more on the overstable side for what their numbers and their marketing tends to lean into. But this guy is really spot on the numbers, just a little bit more understable than my Crave. I'd say the Crave is like an FD, where this is like the Leopard 3, where it just has a little bit more turn, but tons of glide. I get really nice distance with this. I'm just absolutely in love with it. I'm really excited to throw this in tournament settings. I mean, this is one that I plan on using for a long time, assuming I don't lose it again. So the official fajita flight I'm giving this guy is 7.5 -21. It is right on the money. I've heard that the very first runs of Rhythms that came out were a bit more on the overstable side, but I'm really glad to see that with these newer runs that they've been doing, they've really honed in the stability that they wanted from the start. All three of the Neutron Rhythms that I have owned and subsequently lost in the past month all flew exactly the same. That consistency is a really good sign for MVP. Really happy about that. So if you guys like the Rhythm, why don't you let me know down in the comments. A lot of you already know I'm doing a series where I review every Axiom disc. We are well on our way. We are beyond halfway. So we're making great progress. If you're into that mission, why don't you go subscribe? I'd appreciate that. Also go check out this video's sponsor, Growing Through at growingthrough.shop. And as always, I'll see you next time.